about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
So it's the morning after the Academy Awards, and that's just what we're talking about today. My bestie Erik with the K Davis from Fandango is here with a look back at Hollywood's biggest night. Plus, we're going to check out our Oscar picks and see how we did. Welcome back, Erik. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Crazy night at the Oscars last night. Still reeling from that ending.
Because we barely got any sleep last night. So the format was very different without the host and all of that. So what did you think of the whole situation and how they presented it to us?
Yeah, well, the producer said it was going to feel like a movie, and it very much did feel like a movie. You know, it felt like an Oscar movie, really. It was personal, it was intimate. You were more invested in the characters and the storytelling. Very little spectacle. All of the musical performance happened before the ceremony, and there was very little joking going on, really, until that last half hour when Glenn Close was doing debut, and then. Like a good movie, we had a shocking ending that it was controversial and not everyone agreed with it. And so I think that they executed what they had said they wanted to do.
Oh, and they also showed up in some fancy outfits. This is the first time in a long time we're seeing like them really dress up. There were no Sudeikis sweatshirts, which I actually do like. You know what I mean? But we know you were in your pajamas and your hat. So what were you? Did you have any favorites? Because you know people come to you for fashion advice. Erik with a K.
Yeah. I mean, I like the dudes. The dudes all looked really good. I loved Daniel Kaluuya. I thought looked really great. Riz Ahmed looked great. So I was into some of that dude fashion. I was in my pajamas, not wearing my hat. But I thought everybody looked really great. Zendaya, I thought looked amazing. Carey Mulligan, that red dress, you kept seeing it in the background. It was really standing out. So yeah, I thought it was really great.
Okay, so you called it with Nomadland because it was on everyone's like favorites list, and so we knew it was going to do well. But did you think it was going to get all of the major awards that it got?
I thought that Chloe Zhao would win Best Director, and I'm glad that she did. She became only the second woman to ever do that, first woman of color, first Asian woman to win Best Director. So that's a huge milestone in Oscars history. Everyone expected the film to win Best Picture, and it did. No one expected Best Picture to come before Best Actor and Actress. Frances McDormand winning Best Actress, probably the biggest surprise there. I think a lot of people had her in fourth place there, behind Andra Day and Viola Davis and even Carey Mulligan. So that was probably the biggest surprise in terms of the wins that Nomadland had.
Yeah, because you picked Viola and Carey. I picked Andra. And then it was just like a big surprise. But like, to me, they're all winners. Like if you make it to the Academy Awards, if you get to live your dream in the first place to act and do something that you love and do it really, really well, that's the win right there. So let's talk about Best Actor going to Anthony Hopkins, because everyone thought it was going to go to Chadwick because he had won all the awards going into the Oscars. And so he was the fan favorite going in, and now Anthony Hopkins wins, which was a big surprise to me because I didn't see that coming. I said if it wasn't Chad, it was going to be Riz, but here, what do I know? So let's chit-chat about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected Chadwick Boseman, especially when they rearranged it so Best Actor was going to be last. They were really setting it up for Chadwick Boseman to win that award. And so Anthony Hopkins winning, not being there, you know, he is 83 years old. He became the oldest Oscar winner for a performance ever. And he was home. He was asleep. He was in bed across the pond in the UK. And so he was not there. They would not allow Zoom acceptance speeches. And it was a bit of a surprise, but, you know, not so much in the industry. The father came out really late. Right in February, right as voters were starting to sort of take notice, and it had a bit of a late surge. And Anthony Hopkins is a beloved actor, hasn't won, in a while. So I think he deserves it. The performance is great, but I think a lot of people, including myself, wanted to see Chadwick walk away with that win. And I think a lot of people will be talking about this for a while now, but that's what you want. You want a controversial, shocking ending.
Yeah, and it wasn't a surprise just to us. It was to Anthony Hopkins because he released that video on social media saying, I didn't think I was going to win, which clearly explains why he was already in bed. He said, I didn't think I was going to win, but then he paid tribute to Chadwick, saying he was gone too soon, but he thanked the Academy for giving him the Oscar, which, when you think about it, he is a great actor. It's not like they gave me the Oscar over Chadwick, and they're like, seriously, what happened here? Anthony Hopkins, is like an incredible actor, so it's the people who have the right to vote voted, and that's their pick, and, you know. We'll move on, because like we talked about this morning, one of the best tweets this morning was like one of the guys saying Chadwick wouldn't be fussing about not winning. He's just going to move on and try to do his best the very next day. So that's what we're going to try to do. So let's talk about favorite moments. I'm guessing because you already referenced it, Glenn Close doing the butt. Was that one of your favorite moments? I had a lot, though.
Yeah, that was definitely among the favorite, I think, because it was like the lightest moment of the Oscars. It was the only sort of time that people were really laughing and having fun. This is a ceremony that usually begins, you know, with a comedian doing a monologue and sort of lightening the mood. And so yeah, Glenn Close getting up and doing debut. As much as we wanted that to be improvised, it was scripted. She did know that was going to happen, but that was funny. I also loved Chloe Zhao's acceptance speech.
Yeah.
I think she had my favorite of the night. She said, this is for anyone who has the faith and courage to hold on to the goodness in themselves and to hold on to the goodness in each other. And I thought those were great words, and it really did sum up that film. So Chloe Zhao winning, and that speech was another one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, I do. So I do love her speech, because in this day and age, we always try to find the worst. What's wrong with someone? What's wrong with the situation? We never look for the best. I loved that she said that. I also like Tyler Perry's speech. He has an honorary Oscar. So I loved his speech, because it's like a sermon whenever he steps up to the plate. So we're going to bring in the rest of the team to see how we all did. People?
I think I did pretty good.
So Dan and Betty had the most correct picks with 3 out of 4.
It's really Betty.
Eric with a
really
K, you probably get a 2.5, since you did have Anthony Hopkins as a strong possibility. For me, I just picked who I liked. It wasn't like, you know, this is who I want to win. I did get Daniel, though.
My brain is very crowded, but if I could detract from this, my favorite Oscar speech was the Best Supporting Actress.
Yes, that's mine too.
Oh my gosh,
So
yeah.
Yu Yeon-jung.
Yes.
She was like a breath of fresh air.
She is.
Agreed.
Just like her character in the movie.
She was like, I blacked out for
Yeah, she's like, I
seconds.
finally met you,
I
Mr.
know,
Brad Pitt.
The best was when she said, you know, my kids make sure they make sure that I go to work, and so kids, this is what happens when you make me go to work.
That's right.
And it was just so good.
It was great.
It
that
was
was
a
my favorite
wonderful
moment.
speech.
Yeah, her speech. And I also thought, you know, Eric, I thought the whole night was going to be set up with the big theatrical march in of Regina King, and then I thought that was going to create this whole moment, and then the rest of the night just was a monologue.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I liked it, though.
I liked it too. I thought it was personal. It was intimate. It was about storytelling. It was about telling the story of these nominees. And I think after a while, and Questlove was DJing. He said nobody. He wasn't going to cut off any speeches. So 43 minutes, believe it or not, of speeches at the Oscars. But I love the DJ, and Questlove actually has his first movie coming out this summer. It's called Summer of Soul. So great job there from Questlove.
I liked the intimacy, OG. I liked it. I really did, Eric, too. Only thing I thought that was missing was if people didn't see the films, there wasn't a lot of the actual video of those films. It was great to see the person behind the magic of what was happening, but in a year where people may not have seen the films, I feel like that may have been a little bit missing. But I get it. It's hard to do both because you want to see the person,
and I think one of the presenters or something said, go out and see all these. I think it was Francis that said that.
Yes.
Go out and see all these movies. So like, just write it down. Look at our picks, and then you write it down, and then you go look. If you don't know what the movies are, send me a message, or Dan, or Marisol,
Usually
or
that's
Betty.
what happens, right?
I
People
know.
find out who wins, and they're like, oh, I gotta go see it.
Exactly. Eric with a K from Fandango, thank you so much for joining us as
Eric.
always. We can't wait to see you
Thanks so much.
again.
Bye, Eric.
Take care.
I mean,